You know, sometimes I will watch a movie and it'll be abundantly clear that it wasn't made for critics, it was made for people like us. Entourage, the movie. So the Entourage movie springboards off of the foundation that the Entourage series on HBO built. This movie does the greatest thing it could have ever done that I was thinking they were going to do, but I didn't know for sure. It takes the entire final season of Entourage and just sweeps it away. It still acknowledges that the events of that season did happen, but ultimately, if you never watched that season, it's not going to affect this at all. In fact, you don't need to have watched the series in order to enjoy the movie. But it does help. But the point is, everything that happened in that last season doesn't matter here. Turtle's a millionaire. So it's basically cherry picks, like the things that you liked stick, the things that you didn't, they're gone. So in the Entourage movie, Ari Gold's a studio exec. Ari wants Vince to do his first feature film as studio exec, and Vince is like, well, yeah, if I direct. So now this is Vincent Chase's directorial debut. And after that, it's all about getting the money to do it, the stress, the living it up in Hollywood. It sounds really convoluted, but it's really everything that the Entourage show had to offer in an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I'm used to an Entourage storyline being 10 hours long, so I was like, can they cram that in 2 hours and make it work? Yes, absolutely they do that. In fact, this is the finale that the show deserved. It gives you everything, absolutely everything. It's like a really good port of a home console game on a handheld like Game Boy Advance. You're like, how can they possibly? Oh God, they did. It's perfect. That's what this is. Nothing is light about it. The shenanigans among the crew in this movie, they exist and are at full force. Yes, if you have ever thought to yourself that Entourage looks like Sex and the City for dudes, it's because it is. Jeremy Piven as Ari Gold. I'm not gonna lie, I was so scared going into this movie. I was like, maybe Ari Gold's not gonna have enough screen time. It's only like 2 hours long. How on earth are they gonna have the studio exec guy having the screen time that the agent who was first hands with the client had? But they completely do it, 100%. I'm not saying he's not gonna piss some people off. There are gonna be some reviews out there who are gonna be like, "He's so narcissistic, I can't believe people find that entertaining." But we do, because he's funny. I even like the newcomers in this movie, Billy Bob Thornton and Haley Joel Osment. Haley Joel Osment plays Billy Bob Thornton's son. And they're these two hicks from Texas who really don't know how the movie industry works. And they're like, well, I could do it better, but they're financing the movie. And so they just have to deal with that stress. Johnny Drama quickly became one of my favorite characters in the Entourage show. So I was glad that he's kind of in the forefront of this movie. He's not the main character. I don't know that this movie has a main character. It has an entourage. But his character and his quest get a lot of screen time. I was just impressed with the dialogue, synergy, and chemistry between the characters in this movie. You feel like you are just watching a bunch of friends. It's that natural for them, and if it takes you along for the ride, and that's a really invaluable thing for a movie to do for you, the viewer. They don't all do that. A lot of them tried, not a lot succeed. The cameos got a bit exhausting at times, though. I mean, the thing about Entourage is it's in Hollywood, so most of the times you see an actor and they play themselves and they stop and say a couple words. But my God, anytime someone's hurrying somewhere, there's going to be a big-time actor or a famous person or an important person in Hollywood of some sort, like, hey, Aria, you still owe me for that thing. You're like, oh yeah, Jessica Alba, I'll get to it. But it happens so much in this movie. I'm like, I get it, man. Cameos everywhere. Let's go on. If they got $1 million from every big actor or celebrity or important person that cameoed in this movie, the movie would be completely financed. So I'm pretty sure that's how they did it. The rabbit trail shenanigans do get a little convoluted at times, but ultimately it has to do with the characters' love lives. And you're like, should I care about that? Like the Sloane romance thing. Weren't we all just over that shit years ago? Why is it even in this movie? Because one of two things is going to happen. One, you've watched the show, you've seen it enough, you're over it, yet you have to choke it down again. Or two, you haven't seen the show, so it's going to be this out of left field romance where you're like, am I supposed to care about that? I don't. It just feels like a waste of time. I want to know why it was even in here. There are a lot of characters from the Entourage show that didn't make it in the movie, so why did Emmanuel Shrieky's character have to make it? Guys, in the end, Entourage was everything I wanted the Entourage movie to be. It had the characters, the fun, the style, the charisma. This is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I need you to know that. There are going to be people out there who are like, I didn't get it at all. I love polarizing movies like this. Movies where people will either love or hate. I like that. I don't know why. It's just an interesting cultural thing. In the end, I am certainly going to buy Entourage on Blu-ray. Can't believe people find that entertaining. All right, guys, so Entourage the movie. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.